especially with Ron?
I think matching energy. I know they're going to come out, pretty intensely with a new coach, and they didn't make it easy at all. Obviously, the score is different than how they played. It was a hard game to play. We had a match how we did.
I know Michigan's a very special place for you. Would it make that score?
It's always nice to come to Michigan. It's home. I grew up here, so it's always fun to play here.
What do you make of how guys have been able to step up when someone like Austin Matthews is in the lineup, Mitch Marner gets a hat trick, John creates a pretty pass to him, your line is good. All the lines seem to be clicking.
I don't know. I just think maybe it gives the odd guy more opportunity and just trickles down with more ice time for everyone. Obviously, Austin's a key player, and we wish him in the lineup. He's in the lineup every game, but when he's not, we have guys that step up and take advantage of it.
What do you make of how Joseph Woll?
Oh, he's great. He's very poised. He's a great goaltender, and he's saved us a lot in games like tonight, and he's playing great.
Were you guys boosted by the rest a little bit? That was a bit of a 6 games in 10 days you guys were playing, and then you get the 3 days off.
Yeah, it wasn't. We got the rest, but obviously it takes a little bit to get back into the game from the break, and guys dealing with travel and whatnot. But it was good to get back in right away and get this game out of the way and focus on Washington tomorrow.
Have you sensed an attitude change over the last couple of months here, where guys are kind of stepping up for each other when it comes to hits or something? Simon Benoit has a crazy block, and you guys are able to kind of keep.
I think that's just our nature. I think obviously Chief is on us to be team players, and maybe it's just buying into the new system early on. But guys have stepped up, guys have been more physical, guys are blocking shots and doing more of a team game. That's how we're successful.
How your team performed in front of you tonight?
Yeah, it was great. Great job by us putting the puck in the net a lot, obviously, which is great to see. And I thought there were a couple really key blocks that our defensemen had that was huge to see. Anytime you can get a block like that's a grade A has a good chance of going in is pretty huge. So that was pretty great to see. And they played a hard game. They came out strong, I think. The new coach always had a lot of energy playing a team like that, so I thought it was a good job by us sticking out to the end.
One of those blocks was from Simon Benoit. It looked like it caught him in a not too pleasant place, but does that give a lift to the team when you see something like that? He's able to kind of fight through it and work and stay on the bench.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime our defensemen or forwards can get a block like that, it's huge, and those are some of the small things that give the team a lot of momentum, so it was great to see.
What do you think is key for you, just getting those 3 days and being able the rest to kind of come in and have maybe a bit of a bounce back performance from your perspective?
Yeah, it's good to have a clean slate and spend time with family and get your mind off of hockey. And when you play a lot of games, it's tough to get away like that. So I think that was big for our guys, just getting a few days to relax.
When someone like Austin Matthews is in the lineup, it looks like the offense is short of anything. Mitch Marner gets 3 goals. How much does that kind of give you guys a lift when you're able to get the run support?
Yeah, it's whenever you have a player like that out, it's not easy. He's obviously a special player for us, but I think throughout the year we've done a great job stepping up and scoring and being good offensively and as a team when he's not playing, which is great to see and speaks to the depth of our team.
There may be a bit of an early storm from Detroit in that first period.
Yeah, no, I thought they came hard. I thought we checked well tonight. I think we spent a lot of time on our end tonight, but I thought for the most part we did a real good job protecting the slot, blocking shots, good sticks. And like I said, they came hard. We knew that, and we capitalized on our chances.
You were talking about some of the details defensively. Was that more maybe at least through the first 40 minutes of what you
Yeah, definitely. I thought throughout the whole game, did a pretty good job of protecting the interior, protecting the net front. That was the difference in the game.
What do you make of Mitch Marner's ability to score? We know about his playmaking ability. He's shown that he can score in the past, but especially in this type of situation with Austin out.
Yeah, we need him to come up big and score goals, right, like other guys, and he does it. I think he has 5 shots on net tonight. That's the difference for me. He's just shooting the puck. He's got a good shot and he could score goals. I think he's a great playmaker, but there's times that we need him to shoot too.
Speaking of playmakers, what do you make of how John was able to find him off the rebound?
Yeah, it's a great play. It's just chemistry. They played a lot together this year, and JT knows where people are and got eyes in the back of his head making plays. So it was a big play for us at that time. I thought our power play, that was a big goal for us too. We had a 4-minute power play. We needed one there, and we got it.
What do you make of how Joseph Wall was able to kind of bounce back from the break?
Yeah, I thought he was really good tonight. When we needed him to step up, he made a big save for us. I think he only had 24 shots on that, or something in that area, but he was solid, and we.
The Leafs center dilemma: who can strengthen the roster? If you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan like me, you know the team's center depth has been a constant concern this season. With Auston Matthews set to return from a mysterious upper body injury next week, the excitement of having our star back is palpable. However, there are still serious issues to address in the center position to keep the team competitive and, of course, fuel our playoff dreams. David Kampf, a key piece in the center rotation, is sidelined with a lower body injury. As if that weren't enough, Kalle Jarnkrok is still recovering from surgery, leaving another gap in the lineup. Max Domi, expected to be a versatile asset, has been placed on injured reserve, further aggravating the situation after missing consecutive practices due to lingering pains. To sum it up, the Leafs are missing 4 functional centers, and the pressure to act is mounting. James Mirtle, a respected Leafs analyst and contributor to The Athletic, highlighted a series of potential trade targets to address this dilemma during his appearance on the J.D. Bunke's podcast. Among the names mentioned, 2 stood out: Nick Jugstad and, for the nostalgic fans, a possible reunion with Ryan O'Reilly. Jugstad seems to be Mirtle's favorite, and for good reason. The player, who signed a 2-year deal with the Utah Hockey Club last offseason, carries a manageable $2.1 million cap hit, which is essential for a team as salary cap-strapped as the Leafs. Additionally, standing at 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 205 pounds, he would bring not only physicality but also consistent offensive contributions. Jugstad is the most viable option for the Leafs right now, Mirtle stated on the podcast. And he's right. Experienced and versatile, Jugstad has played for several teams, including the Florida Panthers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Minnesota Wild, and Edmonton Oilers, and could quickly adapt to the Leafs' dynamic. With an affordable contract and a solid track record, he offers a practical solution without sacrificing too many future assets. However, it's impossible to ignore the possibility of a Ryan O'Reilly return. Yes, we know he chose the Nashville Predators last summer in search of a quieter environment, but the Leafs management still holds him in high regard. The 2019 Stanley Cup-winning captain with the St. Louis Blues is precisely the type of player any contender would love to have on their roster. However, the cost of bringing him back would be steep, both in terms of trade assets and cap space adjustments, as Nashville or a third team would need to retain part of his salary. I don't think the O'Reilly scenario is entirely out of reach, Mirtle said, showing that there's optimism within the organization. However, there are doubts about how much it's worth investing in a 33-year-old player, even with his impeccable credentials. Meanwhile, cheaper internal options like Steven Lorentz, Connor Dewar, Pontus Holmberg, and Fraser Minton have been mentioned. But let's be honest, these names might serve as short-term stopgaps, but they're far from offering the stability and impact the team needs. The pressure is all on GM Brad Treliving. He knows that despite the Leafs' solid performance so far, the center position is crucial to sustaining any championship aspirations. With the trade deadline approaching, Treliving has likely intensified his efforts to finalize a deal. And we, the fans, are eagerly awaiting good news. For now, all we can do is trust that the team can weather this tough phase and hope a solution, whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or another name, arrives before things spiral out of control. After all, as we all know, the Leafs don't have the luxury of wasting another season with a promising but incomplete roster. The time to act is now. The Leafs center dilemma, expanding on the potential solutions. The Toronto Maple Leafs, amidst another promising yet tumultuous season, face one of their most pressing challenges, addressing a depleted center lineup that threatens to derail their momentum. While the return of Auston Matthews is a beacon of hope, the broader picture remains dire, requiring urgent action from the front office. With Kampf, Jarnkrok, and Domi sidelined, the team's depth has been stretched thin. The immediate impact is clear on both ends of the ice. Defensively, the Leafs are struggling to suppress opposing top lines without reliable two-way centers. Offensively, puck distribution and power play setups have been less dynamic, as the makeshift lineups lack the same chemistry. This imbalance underscores the necessity for reinforcements. Nick Jugstad, as highlighted by James Mirtle, presents the most realistic trade option. His affordable contract and towering physical presence align perfectly with the Leafs' needs. Beyond his imposing stature, Jugstad brings versatility. He can play both center and wing, a flexibility that would allow head coach Sheldon Keefe to adjust the lineup dynamically. However, acquiring Jugstad isn't without complications. The Utah Hockey Club, formerly the Arizona Coyotes, is currently rebuilding but may still demand a premium return for their experienced forward. The Leafs will likely need to part with a mid-tier prospect or draft pick to make the deal work. With their prospect pool already thin, Treliving faces a tough decision. Another name that excites fans and analysts alike is Ryan O'Reilly. The former Conn Smythe winner and Stanley Cup champion has a proven track record of elevating teams in high-stakes situations. His leadership during his brief stint with Toronto last season left a lasting impression. Yet, the Predators have little incentive to move him unless the offer is overwhelming. Should the Leafs pursue O'Reilly, it would almost certainly require a multi-asset package. A first-round pick and a promising young player like Nick Robertson might need to be part of the conversation. Additionally, Nashville would have to retain salary, a process that often involves a third-party team to facilitate. The logistics are challenging but not insurmountable. Internal options like Pontus Holmberg and Fraser Minton offer short-term relief but lack the experience needed for a deep playoff run. Holmberg has shown flashes of potential, but his limited NHL exposure raises questions about his readiness for a consistent role. Minton, while promising, is still developing and would be better served continuing his growth in the minors. A wild-card option could be exploring European leagues or waiver claims to unearth an overlooked talent. Teams like the Vegas Golden Knights and Colorado Avalanche have found gems in unconventional ways, and the Leafs scouting department may need to cast a wider net to uncover an affordable, immediate solution. Another factor complicating the Leafs' decisions is the looming salary cap crunch. With Matthews' extension set to kick in soon, Toronto must be mindful of every financial commitment. Adding a high-priced center now could limit flexibility during the off-season, forcing Treliving to juggle short-term needs against long-term sustainability. Trade timing will also play a pivotal role. Acting quickly could stabilize the team and prevent further slip-ups in the standings, but it may come at the cost of negotiating leverage. Alternatively, waiting closer to the deadline could yield better deals as selling teams grow more desperate. The risk, however, is enduring several more weeks of uncertainty. Sheldon Keefe's role in navigating this storm can't be overstated. His ability to extract maximum effort from an injury-riddled lineup will be crucial. Keefe has already experimented with unconventional line combinations, but the lack of true centers limits his tactical options. A new acquisition would provide the stability he needs to implement a more structured game plan. The Leafs' locker room has remained resilient through adversity, with veterans like John Tavares and Morgan Rielly stepping up as vocal leaders. However, even their efforts may not be enough to overcome the absence of key personnel. Reinforcements are not just a luxury, they're a necessity. For fans, the anxiety is palpable. After years of playoff heartbreak, this season feels like another chapter in the saga of unmet expectations. Yet, there's cautious optimism. The team has shown glimpses of brilliance, and the addition of a solid center could be the missing piece that transforms them from contenders to genuine threats. As the trade rumors swirl, one thing is certain: the next few weeks will be critical in shaping the Leafs season. Whether it's Jugstad, O'Reilly, or an unexpected name, the decision made by Brad Treliving and his staff could define not just this campaign, but the team's trajectory for years to come. For now, we wait, hopeful that the Leafs will seize the moment and finally deliver on their immense potential. Will the Leafs make their move? As the speculation intensifies, the Leafs fan base is holding its collective breath, waiting for signs of a breakthrough.